not true. I gotta run the world, I see many things. I gotta run the world, I see many people. Everything we need is right in Africa. Everything we need is right here in Africa. Only what we need is just unity. We got all the things we need, we got great people. You can never take it away, that's the truth. We got all the things we need, we got safari in Africa. My desire, to go back to Africa. My desire, retire in Africa. My desire, everything within Africa. Everything that we want is in Africa. Sunshine, everything in Africa. Everything that we need, right in Africa. Everything you want is right in Africa. We can take it away.
Oh, program. Please share this program. My name is Ikem Patrick D. For many of you who are joining us on my YouTube channel, I'm just trying to use this opportunity to do a very short clip of broadcast and talk to my followers about the situation. I would also like to open up the line. For many who would want to call in, I just want to pick a very short program so that I would like to also get response. I would like to get feedbacks. Looking at what is happening right now in Nigeria, I feel so concerned. I feel seriously concerned about what's going on. The level of hardship is extraordinary. It's very, very. disturbing. Uh, that is the reason I said I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why the people are going through what they are going through today in Nigeria because you don't force a people to build a nation. You do not force the building of a nation is not something you force people. Uh, it's like trying to work out a system, and for you to get people on board that system to be able to show commitment, people must be willing to participate willingly and not being coerced. So that is the reason I am saying let us have some level of interaction. And I know that more people will join in the course of our conversation here. And I believe that I'm coming out also clearly for viewers, for those of you who are following me, who are viewing my program. I want you to drop your comment on the comment section because it's very, very important to note that the building of a nation is not something you coerce people in. It's something that people must show the willingness to be part of that country or part of that system. Uh, in the case of Nigeria, it's different. People are being forced at a gunpoint to leave the country, and some of the rhetorics of those who have shown that people are not willing to come together to build the country is when they tell you that it's non-negotiable, that the country is non-negotiable. If it's non-negotiable, then it's by force. And non-negotiability of Nigeria is a rhetoric or an adjective um, that is created by an external body, which is the British United Kingdom, try to force the people to come together to build a nation. It's not a by force exercise. It's an exercise that people must be willing to be part of. And that is the reason why what you see going on in Nigeria today, things that are happening because people have not shown that willingness to be part of the system, to actually willingly contribute, contribute to, you know, contribute to to be part of the Nigerian, what is it called, the Nigerian system. And example is the political class. The political class have shown that they themselves are not even committed in, in building the Nigerian nation, like they call it, because Nigeria is not a nation. They have not shown that willingness to build a country. And that is why you see all of them are, are looting and misbehaving and doing whatever they like because at the end of the day, they owe no allegiance to anybody, not even to the citizens or the country itself. Most of us that are making the request for the disintegration are doing so out of compassion and the love we have for the people because we understand basically that the system cannot work. And the more the people remain in that system, the more they find life very, very difficult. So That is why some of us have, you know, put ourselves on the line to make our contribution in making people understand that the building of a nation is not a by force something. It's not something you force people into. And for you to build a viable nation, you must also go through negotiation process. That negotiation process will draw the attention of the people to willingly participate. But when you are poised to building a nation and you take it upon yourself to say that you are not going to negotiate the building of a nation, of the nation you intend to build, then who are you building the nation for? Because we've seen uh, some statement from the likes of Gowon and some other people who say that Nigeria is not negotiable. The building of Nigeria is not negotiable. If the building of a country is not negotiable, and you want to build a country, who are you building the country for? Are you building it for the people, or you are building it for outsiders? Because if you are building a country, the focus point it should be for the people of that country who will be part of that system. Then you now say you're not going to negotiate with the people you want to build a country with. Then who are you building the country on? Whose interest are you building the country for? So these are some of the things that have propelled some of us to, continue to speak out, to wake people up on the reality that you cannot by forcefully build a country. You don't build a country by force. Uh, and it's quite unfortunate that the so-called Nigerians are coerced into believing that they are building a country or they are building a nation. But a nation that is not built on negotiation, then because it is two things are involved. It's either you build a country or a nation through negotiation, or you build it through force. And a country that you build through force cannot succeed because you cannot force people into being part of a system they don't want to belong to. And you also cannot put gun on people's head to say you must be part of this system. So it has to be through negotiation. Today we've seen certain policies that are being put in place by this Tinubu's government, and because the policies are not favorable to the northern part of Nigeria, they are saying that you must consult us, you must consult everybody, you must negotiate with us. Now, if a single policy can be put on the table for negotiation, then why is it difficult to put the entire entity of Nigeria on the table for negotiation? You see the hypocrisy in the building of the so-called Nigeria. And these are the things you are saying. And you cannot build a country through the means or the, and that is why you see that every day things are getting more difficult, things are getting more hard, because at the end of the day, the willingness is not there for anybody to make their contribution. Even the tax that the Tinubu administration is clamoring for, people are objecting to the tax because they are not even sure where the tax money is going to end up. Is it going to end up in Tinubu's pocket, or is it going to end up in one individual's bank account in Switzerland? So these are issues that are being put before uh, everybody to examine. and ask themselves, do you have the willingness as a people to build a country or build a nation? Very, very important. So for me, it is important that the people understand that the building of a nation is not something you do forcefully. It's not something you do by cohesion. It's not something you do by pointing gun on people's head. No country or no nation have ever been built forcefully. Such a nation can never succeed. So that is the reason some of us are speaking out to really make these individuals who are forcing Nigeria and everybody understand that building of a nation is not something you force on anybody. So it's very, very important that even Nigerians themselves too uh, need to start waking up to this reality. And we have Remi Oyeyemi, who said a nation to exist has to be ingrained in the psyche of its citizens. There has to be emotional connection. It has to run as blood in the vein and marrows in the bones of those who subscribe to it. A nation is that consummated, undescribable feeling that command the unalloyed love, permitted with buoyant affection and infused with the solicited loyalty of those who subscribe to it. A nation is that which is pe- patently invisible, but translucently obvious and recurrent in the gliding waves of seas of subconsciousness of its people. It is not the case with Nigeria. We all have the notion, we all have nothing in common. Our aspirations are different. Our hopes are different. Our dreams are different. Our primordial attachment is strong. No one likes to be dominated. No one likes to be in bondage. No one likes to be enslaved. No one likes it when others take advantage of him or her people. We are all ethnic jingoists. Yet, we are unwilling to accept it. We are all in denial. We all pretend to be Nigeria lovers when indeed we all hate Nigeria. Our ethnic group is where we derive our identity. It is where we derive our worldview. It is where we derive and form our character. It is what describes us as a human being. It is the kernel of our authenticity. It is what makes us unique. It is what makes us special. This is a statement by Remi Oyeyemi. So for me, it is important that the people that call themselves Nigerians need to start waking up to the reality. Those who call themselves Nigerians need to start waking up to the reality. And I'm still going to read out another post by this same intelligent individual, a very smart and intelligent man indeed, and I have my respect for him. This same Remi Oyeyemi says, if Nigeria breaks up, it would increase the competition among all of us. Those who want to move fast to develop will do so. Those who want Sharia will move to adopt it. Those who want to be an extension of the Vatican could do so. Those who want to educate their citizens could do so. Those who want to rear cattle would do so. Those who love Osama bin Laden could follow him. Those who want Taliban-dominated nation will have the freedom to do so. So like I said earlier, that the building of a nation, the building of a country is a negotiation process. You do not force people, you do not force entities through a gunpoint to be part of a system that they have not accepted or they are not ready to embrace. Because when they see some of us talking about, people finding their true identity and disintegrating themselves from Nigeria, they see us as the enemies. But most of us are doing it because of the love and the compassion and the passion we have for the people and the humanity. We are doing it because of the way we are built, because we understand that freedom is something, and that is the best gift you can give to any man. A man, the freedom for him to decide what he wants to be, the freedom for any man to decide where he wants to belong. But in the case of Nigeria, it's not true. People are forced. People are forced to belong at a gunpoint to belong to Nigeria, which is unacceptable. Like Remy Oyeyemi said, yes, I want to thank you, praise Needcom. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this program that I'm doing is just impromptu. I didn't plan it, but I had to do it because for me, it is very, very important that I use my short free time to run this broadcast. And as you join me, please share this program. Share this program because I would also want to, drop a WhatsApp line where you can actually, uh, you know, um, where you can actually, uh, you know, call in call in and make a contribution. Let me see if I can do that now. Just give me a moment, please. Let me see if I can do that now so that people can call in because I want to see how I can engage in this discussion briefly. Very important. So it's very, very important that I engage people. I know that a lot of people, because I haven't been broadcasting regularly on this page, so a lot of people will say, this one that Mazi is coming this evening to, broadcast. I just want to, uh, you know, I just want to make sure that I use the opportunity that I have now to um, you know to deliver some of the issues I want to talk about. And this I didn't plan it. The thing just came to me impromptu, and I said, no, let me run this short broadcast talking about the building of a nation. And I would also like even those who do not even believe in what I believe in to also call in to tell me why we should build Nigeria by force. I want people to tell me, though we've been on this um, discussion for a very long time. We've been on this discussion for a very long time, over the years, but we cannot stop talking. We cannot stop talking. We have to keep talking. This is a live program, by the way. For many of you who are doubting, this is a live program. And I'm talking about building a nation. How that adjective, that word that is being used, that the Nigeria is non-negotiable and all these things, were not even words that were created by the so-called Nigerians themselves. That what is, how is it used? That the building of Nigeria, how is it used? I can't even remember. That it is non-negotiable. It is not even, the word was not coined by the so-called Nigerians. These are adjectives that were created by foreigners, by the British, forcing Nigeria on the throat of everybody, forcing it down the throat of everybody. So that, to tell you that being a Nigerian is by force. How do you force people to be part of a country? You don't, you say you are not going to give them any option. You are not going to give them any alternative. Because why I'm saying some of these things is, when you look at the level of hunger, the level of suffering, the level of frustration going on in Nigeria today, you start to ask yourself, does it really worth it? Does it really worth it being a Nigerian? The number is on the screen. It is a WhatsApp call, +39 388 177 9665. The question the people that call themselves Nigerians, the question they should be asking themselves, and I think I have to come back on this same topic. And the topic I'm going to bring up next time is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? It is very, very important. Does it worth it being a Nigerian? I think I have to add it to, I think I have to add it. I have to add it here. Does it worth it being a Nigerian? Does it worth it? Does it worth it being a Nigerian? It's a very, very important question. A very important question. Does it worth it being a Nigerian? A very, very important question that we must ask ourselves. Beautiful. Now, I think I've been able to find the right, Makasi Nuche na Abia. Like I told you, I didn't plan this program. I never planned coming to make this program. So now I have been able to carve out the topic I've been looking for. Does it worth it being in Nigeria? Very, very interesting and important question. And this leaves opportunity. This leaves opportunity to open this conversation. It leaves the opportunity to open the conversation if it's worth it being a Nigerian. Very, very important. And the number is on the screen for even those who feel that it is worth it being a Nigerian. If it is worth it being a Nigerian, call into the WhatsApp number. Let us have this conversation. Let's ask ourselves if it's worth being a Nigerian, if really it is worth it being a Nigerian. I would like to hear from you. I would like you to call in. I would like you to call in because it's very, very important for everybody to really understand and ask themselves this very important question. Does it worth it being a Nigerian? A very, very important question that we must ask ourselves today. If it's worth it, a country where you are forced to belong, a country where you are forced to be part of, a country where you are coerced to be part of. And that put me, I'm putting this call across to a friend of mine. Now I want to make it an unexpected call, where I can also interrogate people. Hello, good evening. You're on the live program. There is a question. I'm doing.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Good evening, Maz. Good evening. I'm on a
Good
live.
evening.
I'm on a live
Good
stream. Yes, I'm on a live stream, and I want to put a question across to you. Does it worth it being a Nigerian, Mazi? Please, I would like you to respond. You are on a live program. I know that you might not be in the best of position to talk for long, but I want to ask you this question. Does it really worth it being a Nigerian?
You said, does it worth being in Nigeria?
Does it worth it being a Nigerian? It is an open question.
No. No. Nobody is happy in Nigeria. Both the ones who felt they have the power, that their tribe has to be the one in charge of Nigeria, in charge of Nigerian resources, they are not happy in Nigeria. Even those ones who doesn't have access to power in Nigeria, they are not happy, because the reason is because Nigeria is a creation of certain people. Certain people created Nigeria, and they have their own plan in creating Nigeria. And their own plan was not to make the people who find themselves in that geographical zone area to be happy, or to be alive, or to be successful, or to emerge as a nation. Nigeria was not created to make anyone who lives in Nigeria to be happy or to be treated as a human being. It's just like a nation that you just created with business intention. And that is what the British did when they create Nigeria. So it's not working for anyone. So nobody can stand up proudly and say that he or she is happy being a Nigerian, because there is nothing like a Nigerian as a nation. There is nothing like a Nigeria as a nation. Nigeria is just like a warehouse where you planted machine that is manufacturing things and producing money. Nigeria is like a farm for certain people who created it. So it's not a nation. Nobody is happy being a Nigerian. There is nothing you can lay hands on that you can say that this is why you are proud of being Nigeria. There is nothing absolutely, and Nigeria doesn't offer anybody anything except from people who created it, which is the Britain. They are the people who are benefiting in the existence of Nigeria. They are the people who are benefiting. So those people who they make, like in a school where you will make somebody to be where you will make somebody to be a head of a class, then that person will just feel some element of power. And at that time, when
of
that person,
importance.
yeah, the person will feel important. That is what most of the politicians and people who ascended power to work for Britain in Nigeria feel. They feel like they are better than other people who are not access to power, who are not access to resources. So they feel like they are better, but that does not make them happy. That does not make them happy being in Nigeria, because everything people should benefit from being in a nation or being a nation, they are not benefiting it. It's not Nigerian passport that you can be proud of. It's not Nigerian citizenship that you can be proud of. There is nothing apart from the money that the politicians are getting, apart from the money that the people whose British allowed to come close to power. Apart from what they are getting, there is nothing else anybody can be proud of, and they say, this is my nation, this is my place. And that is why it's not working for anybody. I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely. You have done justice, because what I came up with this question in the middle of this program, and I felt I could make it interactive, and I just want to put a call across to people unexpectedly, unplanned. As I'm talking to you, I'm on a live program, and I'm also going to put calls across to people without even unplanned, for me to have their own view of if it is worth it being in Nigeria. Now, Mazi, there is another thing I also want to ask. Can you build a nation forcefully? Is it possible to build a nation by force?
Mazi, politically, in order to be balanced in our argument, the truth of the matter is that what happens to Nigeria is quite different. Like where you said, can you build nation forcibly? It is very hard in the understanding of what nation should be. It's very hard, but at the same time, there is a possibility of forcibly bring people together to form a nation with a good intention. With good intention. So over the time, the good intention you have in forcefully trying to bring people together to form a nation will be able to overshadow that aspect, because there is nothing you will do in this life that will be very perfect. The moment you are doing one thing that seems to be right in your eyes, in another person's eyes, it could be error. It could be something who is not right. So I will give you an example of this. What we are pointing out here is about the intention. What was the intention of trying to bring the North, the South, and the East and the West together to form a nation? Now, the people who did it, who are British, who forcefully bring all these people together, their intention is not for them to make a progress as a nation. That is where our problem lies. If they have intention of making us to make a progress as a nation, as a people, then we couldn't be, putting this argument out. But because they have different intention in bringing us together, so there is no way that we can be able to progress as a nation or as a people, because their intention is not to make us to make progress. Their intention is not for us to make us possibly to exist as a nation or to make progress as a people. So that is just what happened. The British intentions of bringing us together or forcefully bringing us together in Nigeria is not for us to make progress. So therefore, the foundation is faulty. The intention of bringing us is faulty. Are not forcefully come together. But the argument is that the intention of that act was not for us to make progress, and we must point it out, because there's no way we will remain on that trap, we will remain under that arrangement and make progress as a people, because that is not the structure. That is not what they have in mind when they bringing us together, and they are sustaining that evil intention, that bad intention they have in forcefully bringing us together. They are sustaining it by empowering the Fulanis, who have nothing, absolutely nothing to offer to Nigeria as a nation, bringing them, making them to emerge as a president, making them to emerge, handing them over the government seat of power, while they know that these people have absolutely nothing to offer to make Nigeria to move forward. That's why they keep bringing somebody like Tinubu to be the president of that nation, because they know he has nothing to offer to the people to move forward. That's why they continue to, you see how they have been able to use every leader that they manage to bring into Nigeria. They make Nigeria to decrease. They make the nation to decrease. There was no president that have ever come to Nigeria that made us to make a little progress rather than decreasing. Every president that comes, things will become worse in his own regime, because that is how we are designed to descend as a people, not to ascend. So that is the argument. Their intention, the foundation is very faulty. The intention they have in bringing Nigeria together, in forcefully bringing the people together, is wrong. It's very wrong. And if we don't correct that intention now, Nigeria cannot make progress. And that is why our agitation for Biafra is legitimate. It's legitimate because we as a people want to move forward. We as a people want to be free. We as a people want to make progress as a nation. We as a people want to contribute to global community. We as a people want to help people who are suffering, who are struggling. We want to make a contribution. We want to make progress. We want a situation where other people, other nations of the earth that are struggling, we want to make a contribution. We want to bring something to the table. We don't want to bring to a nation that cannot contribute to the suffering of others, that cannot bring solution, that cannot bring anything on the table. Rather, every time they are decreasing by whatever government that emerge in that nation. So that is what makes our agitation legitimate, because that is the intention of our agitation. It's not just to answer a nation, but we want to see a progressive nation in that geographic area. We want to see a progressive nation. We want to see a nation emerging in technology. We want to see a nation that is contributing to the human growth. We want to see a nation that can be solving a problem. We want to see a nation that is very progressive. We want to see a nation that stands for human rights in that area. So that is why we are agitating for Biafra. We are agitating for the freedom of Biafra. So that's what makes it legitimate, because we have better intention than the intention that the British has when they are forcibly bringing Nigeria together, the West, South, and North. So that is the argument. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much, Mazi. Thank you very much. This is a random call. I'm also going to call more random people Mazi, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much for being part of this short and also educating our listeners this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. So we've been able to get one random response. I want to make another random call again. This is not a planned program, like I said, but I'm going to choose one or two persons randomly, and I'm going to call them. I'm going to call them. They don't necessarily have to introduce themselves. I want it to be anonymous. I want it to be an anonymous contribution so that we'll be able to. But the call I'm putting across, none of these people knows that I'm calling. But I'm going to take them by surprise. Let me see. Most of them might even be in their place of work. Most of them might be in the car driving. Some of them might be on their way home, but I'm going to see to seek their opinion. This is just a kind of initiative for me that I'm bringing on board. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good evening. This is a random call. This is Mazi Patrick DK. I know you are not expecting this call, but I'm putting random call to get opinion of people. I know you might be in your workplace, and I want to put you a question. I want to put a question across to you on a live program. The question is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? You are on a live program. You don't have to introduce yourself. You don't have to call your name. Just go ahead and make your short contribution. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, the caller is not responding, so I'm going to cut and try another. I'm going to try another random person. I'm going to try another random person. Okay, let me try another random person and see if he can respond. These are random calls. Let me see if they can respond. And I hope that they respond to give their own opinion if it is what it is. A very straightforward question, and if the person is in a position to respond, I hope they would be in a position to do so, to give us their genuine, because the best way to get a genuine response from people is when you ask them unexpected questions. And I do not expect everybody to have the same idea. I do not expect anybody to give me equal response, but notwithstanding. And the number is still on the screen for those of you who would like to call in to give your own opinion, if it is worth it being in Nigeria. This caller have not responded. I want to see if I can get another caller, another person who will give me their own opinion as well. Let's see if we can get. You might not necessarily have to know the name of this persons. I think somebody just tried to call back. Maybe he was not in the right place to respond. So let me see if I can try him again and see if he can give us his own opinion. Hello, this is a random call, please, and we are on a live program. And the question I want to put across to you is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? You don't have to introduce yourself, just give us your opinion. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't think, I'm not going to measure, I don't think it's nice to be a Nigerian because Nigeria is not working like other countries, even in Africa, even like their neighbors. Because in other countries in Africa, everybody have the same constitution, everybody think the same thing, everybody have the same program or reason the same way. In Nigeria is another thing. Nigeria is not owned by Nigerians. Nigerians are just there like spectators watching the country. They don't know about their country. They don't know anything the country has. They just answer the name, you know. According to what you are saying, Nigeria I don't think Nigeria is a country. Anybody thinking that Nigeria is a country, the person have to go and look for other places where other countries in Africa and see how they are living and how things are organized there. And the person, whoever that goes, even Ghana or Cotonou, and come back to Nigeria, we know that Nigeria is not a country. I surrender for a year.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the response. Thank you. Another random caller and another random response. We'll continue to take random calls, and these are just calls, unexpected calls. People from whoever I can get, I will call. Whoever I can get, I will call to put this question across, to ask if it is worth it being in Nigeria. Let me take another random call. So if people are not introducing themselves, it will not be a big deal because it is not for the purpose of self-introduction, but just to be able to get random opinion of people. And I do not expect as well everybody to go in the same direction of opinion. But it's important that we take certain random, because it's also a kind of referendum as well. This is another form of referendum, general opinion. And the number is on the screen for many of you who want to call in on WhatsApp. The number is +39388 1779665. This caller, this person have not responded, so I'm going to look for another caller. I'm going to look for another caller, another random person to call, and I'm just going through all the numbers that are available. The one that respond will get their opinion, and the one that doesn't respond will just have to move on. Let me see if I can get another random person to give us his opinion on the issue. Let's see. Yeah, so like I was saying, we've had the opinion of two individuals so far who have told us that it doesn't worth it being a Nigerian, and I just hope that this random person is going to respond as well. But if you want to call in, the number is also on the screen for you to call in and make your own points. If you also feel that it is worth it being a Nigerian, you can as well call in and let us know. This person have not responded. Another random call. Let's see if we can take another call. Let's see if we can take another call, if it is possible. Let's see if we can take another call. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. You are on a live program, and we are putting random calls across everywhere to ask. And the question is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? You have just 3 minutes to give us your response.
Excuse me.
You are on a live program, and we are putting a random call across. And the question we are putting across is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? The question is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? You have just 3 minutes.
For me personally, it doesn't worth it to be a Nigerian. Very simple, right? Reasons. Nigeria is not working, and it will never work. Nigeria is the type of hypocrisy I'm seeing there. I have never seen it anywhere in my entire life. Everybody the same. Criminality, and unfortunately, I'm a pastor, and the pastors there, they have made the people not to think rightly. So they have used their platform to turn the gospel upside down, and they use the word of God to for what I would say, unfortunately, kind of criminal-minded people, all the time worshiping God of mammon, money, all the time. So it doesn't want it to be like it. In fact, I don't see myself anymore as as a Nigerian. And even if I introduce myself as a Nigerian, I always tell the people that I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you very much. You've spoken from your religious angle. Thank you for that contribution. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, so we've just heard from a pastor who have also shared his own religious angle of what it means to be in Nigeria, and if it is worth it. And everybody seems to have the same opinion. Let me see if I can. Who is this? Let's see if we can take this caller. Caller from the UK. Let's see. Before we take the caller from the UK, let's recall back the earlier person we tried to reach that didn't respond. Yes. Good evening. You don't have to introduce. Good evening. You don't have to introduce yourself. You're on a live program, and we are putting out a random call to people. I don't know if you're in the right place to respond to the question. The question is, does it worth it being in Nigeria? You have 3 minutes. You are live.
No, not at all.
Tell us.
Not at all. To be a Nigerian is that you have signed to be a slave forever. To be a Nigerian means that you have signed for poverty and hardship for the rest of your life. To be a Nigerian means that you are condemned into perpetual servitude. It's not worth being a Nigerian because Nigeria is not identity. Nobody is a Nigerian. It's a stolen identity. It's a fake. It's a misnomer to be a Nigerian. So it's not worth being a Nigerian. Not at all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that short and brief response. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we have, let's see if we can take this call from the UK, and let's see, I don't know who the caller is. Let's see if we can. Hello, good evening. You called earlier, and we are on a live program, and we are asking random people the question, does it worth it being a Nigerian?
Yeah. If I say it's worth it being a Nigerian, then my neck should be cut off. Nobody is happy being a Nigerian. Not even the so-called one Nigerians. They are not happy. Most of them are just asking Nigeria to despite Igbo, so that Igbos will continue to suffer in Nigeria. So it is not worth it. Being in Nigeria, if you say you're in Nigeria, it means you are accepting to be a slave. So who created Nigeria? How did Nigeria come about? You and I know the people that created Nigeria. It is the British. And as far as we all know, we are still slaves under them. So if you're answering a Nigerian, it means you are a slave. And somebody who is in a contemporary society, like now, I don't think anybody, any sensible human being, will be happy to answer a slave. So Nigerians, or the so-called Nigeria as a country, for us, for people to be inside the place, for people who are living there to at least for them to what's calling human beings, they should all wake up and advocate for total disintegration of that contraption or that. But somebody say if you call it a zoo, you are insulting the zoo. Even if you call it a jungle, you are insulting jungle. Because in the zoo there is organization. So it is a place we lack word to describe. So nobody is happy being called a Nigerian. If you call me a Nigerian, then you have insulted me. So we are all praying for the disintegration. And Biafra must be restored. Oh, hey, Biafra.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that response. Thank you very much. Yes, so like I said, some other people are also trying to call back. People who've called earlier. Let's see if I can get some response from them, because it's very, very important that if we call and you didn't respond and you call back, we'll try to reach back to you. Hello, good evening. You don't need to introduce yourself. This is a random call and we're on a live program. And we are putting out a random question to everybody or anybody that we can get. And the question is, does it worth it being a Nigerian? You have 3 minutes.
Yes, yeah, well, I'll make it short. Being in Nigeria is like wearing slippers during winter time. Most of us living in the Western world understand wearing slippers in winter time, what it means. So being in Nigeria is what nobody, both our eastern region, west, north, middle west, nobody is, you can be bold and say it, nobody, even the presidency himself, the president, the politicians knows that Nigeria doesn't want it. To answer that name, even to call us Nigerians, is not what to say I am a Nigerian. In anywhere you go. So being in Nigeria is a very simple mathematics. It's like somebody wearing slippers during the cold time. So you know what it means.
That is a serious description, no? To wear slippers inside winter. That is a serious one. I've never had this before. I've never had this before. Thank you very much for that contribution. Thank you very much. The line is still open, guys. The line is still open while I continue to search. And I'm trying to see, let it not look as if this conversation is one-sided. I don't want it to seem as if it is a one-sided conversation. So I'm trying to see if somebody tried to call in earlier. Let me see, and I think it is. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this person. You try to call in. Let's see if we can get this person. Hello, good evening. This is a random call, please. This is a random call. You're on a live program. And the question we are putting across to random people is, does it worth it being in Nigeria? You don't have to introduce yourself. Just give us your opinion. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening. What I have to say is that this is a very good question, which I wish it can be seen in other platforms and put on TikTok and everywhere to make every Nigerian try to answer whether it's proud to be in Nigeria.
Not just, the question is not being proud. The question is, does it worth it? Does it worth it being a Nigerian? Yeah. Does it worth it? Yeah. Does the suffering, does the pain? Yes.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
My personal answer is no. Yeah, my personal answer is no. It doesn't work. That's the truth.
So why do you say no? Do you have to give us your reasons why it doesn't worth it?
Number one is who is Nigeria and what is Nigeria? That is the two question that will make you know that it doesn't work. Who is Nigeria and what? Who are the Nigerians? And what is Nigeria? When I mean who are the Nigerians, me now, I'm an Igbo man. The other person is a Yoruba man. The other person is an Hausa man. The other person is whatever it is. Now, how are we Nigerians? Me as an Igbo man, because like now I'm an Igbo man, or from Biafra land as a case. You too, there is something that unites us. There's something that combines us. There's something that puts us together, and that is why we work together to progress. You understand? But when it comes to Nigeria now, who are the Nigerians? That is why there is no patriotism. You have everybody selfish, self-centered, hypocrisy everywhere. And what is Nigeria? Okay, now what is Nigeria? If you look at the system of government practiced in this Nigeria, what kind of system? Or what are we even practicing? Is it secular? Is it Sharia? What are we doing? So, what is Nigeria and who are Nigerians? So when you answer those two questions, you see that it doesn't work. So, but my own reason for calling, I just say, I think this is a very important question which every Nigerian that is deceiving himself must be compelled to debate and answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He has just given me a wonderful idea. And on our next program, we'll be going on TikTok. We'll be going on TikTok with this question, where we are also going to give people the opportunity to participate directly. And I'm not going to end this discussion here. I want the discussion and this question to continue. I'm going to make sure that other platforms are added where we're going to start putting these questions